The cosmic compass. Jan had always been fascinated by the stories his grandfather told him about the sea, the way it whispered secrets to those who listened closely. One rainy afternoon, while rummaging through the dusty attic of his grandfather's old house in a small Danish village, Jan stumbled upon a peculiar object hidden beneath a pile of moth-eaten blankets. It was an ornate compass, its surface engraved with strange symbols that shimmered in the dim light. Curiosity ignited within him. Jan brushed off the dust and turned the compass over in his hands. The needle spun wildly before finally settling, pointing toward the attic window that overlooked the ocean. Intrigued, he decided to follow its direction. He climbed down the creaky stairs and headed outside, the compass clutched tightly in his palm. As he reached the edge of the cliff overlooking the sea, a sudden gust of wind swept through, and the compass began to glow with an intense light. Jan shielded his eyes as the world around him warped and twisted. In a flash, he found himself standing on a vibrant alien landscape filled with towering crystalline structures and lush vegetation that sparkled like diamonds under a violet sky. "Welcome, Earthling," boomed a voice that resonated through the air. Jan turned to see a group of aliens approaching him, tall beings with iridescent skin and large, expressive eyes. They wore flowing garments that shimmered like liquid light. "Who are you?" Jan asked, his heart racing with excitement and fear. "We are the Lamari," one of them replied, their voice melodic and soothing. "We have been searching for a brave soul to help us restore balance to our world." Jan learned that their planet, Luminera, was dying due to a dark force that had corrupted their energy sources. The Lamari believed that the compass he had found was a key to locating ancient artifacts scattered across their realm, artifacts that held the power to heal their planet. Without hesitation, Jan agreed to help them. Together, they embarked on an adventure through breathtaking landscapes, shimmering forests where trees sang in harmony, crystalline caves filled with glowing creatures, and vast oceans of liquid light that reflected the stars above. As they journeyed deeper into Luminera, Jan discovered hidden strengths within himself. He could communicate with the flora and fauna, understanding their needs and fears. The Lamari taught him how to harness the energy of their world, allowing him to manipulate light and create beautiful illusions. After days of exploration and camaraderie, they finally reached the Temple of Echoes, where the last artifact was said to be hidden. The temple loomed before them like a giant prism refracting colors into every corner of their vision. As they entered, an eerie silence enveloped them. In the center of the temple stood a pedestal adorned with intricate carvings depicting ancient Lamari legends. Atop it rested a radiant crystal pulsating with energy. As Jan approached it, he felt an overwhelming surge of power coursing through him, a connection between him and Luminera that transcended space and time. But just as he reached out to touch the crystal, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, a creature born from despair and chaos, its eyes glowing with malice. "You dare disturb my domain?" it hissed. The Lamari stood protectively around Jan as he felt fear grip his heart. "We must fight," one of them urged. "No," Jan said suddenly, feeling a rush of determination. "We can't fight darkness with more darkness." He closed his eyes and focused on all he had learned, the beauty of Luminera, its vibrant life force, and began to channel that energy into a brilliant beam of light. The creature recoiled as Jan unleashed his creation, a wave of pure light that illuminated every corner of the temple. For a moment, it seemed as if hope would triumph over despair, but just as quickly as it began, darkness surged back stronger than before. With a deafening roar, the creature lunged at them. In that instant, Jan felt himself being pulled away from Luminera as if an unseen force was dragging him back home. "Jan," one of the Lamari cried out as everything around him began to dissolve into light. "Wait! I can help," he shouted desperately as he vanished from their sight. As he landed back in his grandfather's attic, heart pounding and breathless, Jan clutched the compass tightly in his hand. The adventure had been real, more real than anything he had ever experienced, but now he faced an uncertain future. What would happen to Luminera? And could he find a way back? The compass glowed softly in response to his thoughts, its needle spinning once more, this time pointing towards something new, a map etched into its surface, leading back to Luminera. With determination sparking in his chest, Jan knew this was only the beginning of his journey. He took a deep breath and prepared for whatever awaited him next in this magical universe, where adventure beckoned beyond every horizon.